Well, hi, how are you doing out there in internet land? My name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative, and welcome to the Wednesday night newsroom. That wonderful time of the week when we get together, we talk about the news, we give our views, and we try and make sense out of this crazy thing that we call life. My name is Brian Trippett. I am known in social media as the Front Porch Conservative. I am also known sometimes as the Beau and the Chapeau. Occasionally, I'm called the Wise Guy and the Wide Brim. Sometimes, though, but rarely, I am referred to as the common man with common sense. But I am, above all else, in this moment, your host. We are on Rumble. We are on Twitter. And we are on that quaint little alternative social media platform known as YouTube. So if you would not mind, please do me some favors. Number one, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Number two, please hit the bell for notifications. We want to make sure that you are always aware when new material is coming out, be it a video or a live stream. And I swear to y'all, I'm going to get back to doing videos. Life has just been nuts. Also, please make sure that you are hitting the thumbs up button right now. When you come in the room, hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up, y'all crazy people. Hit the thumbs up, leave a comment and chat. Believe me, it does help spread the good news and the good word about this small little channel. We love you guys so much. We thank you so much. We're glad you're here tonight. Oh my, I am wired. We have got so much to talk about. So much to talk about. I don't even know if my little old computer is my little old computer is going to be able to hold up under all the memes, the links I've got, the videos. We're going to talk about this thing out in LA and all the stuff that's coming out of it. So settle in, folks. We might be here for a while. I'm just going to tell you right now. So anyway, let's start off, see who's here, as we are prone to do. Let's see. We'll start with the Rumble side of things. WWG1's been making his contributions, which you'll see what he's been giving you lately here in a few minutes. Even in WWG1, fist bump to you. TBA says, chucking him a thumbs up early because I can't stay for the show. Well, that's all right, TBA. We still love you anyway. We thank you for stopping by and giving the thumbs up. Daggone it. Let's see. WWG1, your girl is your girlfriend. Your girlfriend is making you nuts, Brian? No, the significant other in my life is doing anything but making me nuts. WWG1, thank you very much. Salty Old Fart says, Brian, welcome to day 7 of What in the World is Going On, LOL. Oh, ain't that the truth, brother? Oh, my gosh. Goodness me. TBA, responding to Salty Old Fart, says, the answer to your question is, how the F should I know? There's truth to that than you know. So fist bump to all you gentlemen. All right, let's see who's over on the YouTube side. Z Highness is in the house. Mwah! Hello, baby. Loves to you. Hello, Porchy. Representing the 199 as always, and with all the heart that she can muster. God love you, darling. Hello, lovely Lana. Lovely. Oh. There's a story going to come up here shortly. I got to double check, make sure you're okay. Along with this fine gentleman, make sure he's okay, because there's some news coming out of Ohio. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys are out of harm's way on this one, but I got to make sure. You guys are all right. And the lovely Miss Jessica is in the house. Mwah. Hello, darling. D-Day Cobra broadcasted riot days 3, 5%. Jeez, that man's a monster. I love Jeremy. He's just nuts. And God love him that he's got the time to do it. But we're going to get into a big discussion about that tonight, among other things. So I'm glad you all are here. Settle in. Let's have some fun. And, oh, gosh, we have got so much to get into. I mean, I'm not kidding. I got a string of tabs here that's just absolutely absurd. Absurd in a big, big way. So I tell you what. Let's just dive right into it, and we'll start, as we are wont to do, with the Merry Memes section of the show. Now, for those of you watching this live stream for the very first time, and there are a few of you out there, I see you over there on Rumble, and bless y'all's hearts, y'all, if it's a thing that you're watching on your televisions at the house, okay, I get it, but feel free to chime in. We'd love to hear from you. But yeah, we got people watching on Rumble. We got people watching on YouTube. We got people watching on Twitter. And if you're here for the first time, you're like, what the heck are the merry memes? Well, the merry memes are those little funnies that we find, and great contributors always. WWG1, I find a few of them. We got a Canadian brother by the name of Adam who pipes in, and I got a bunch of them that Adam's given and others, and I'll have to do them on Saturday or some other time in the near future. But we got quite a few of them tonight. Well, hello, Miss Gypsy. Welcome in. Grab yourself a chair, darling. Mwah, good to see you. And we've got quite a few memes tonight. And we start off, as we are wont to do, look, we are always trying to improve the educational quality of those who participate in the electronic front porch. And to that end, we have started a bilingual effort. In other words, we're trying to teach people different words from different languages. Well, lately we've been focusing on Spanish quite a bit. As y'all might imagine, that's a very important language to know, especially these days in the age of Trump, as some are calling it. And we have come up with a word of the day. The word of the day for the electronic front porch in Spanish is the word believing. And basically you can use it like this. All these Mexicans will be leaving in El Salvador very soon. So there you go, folks. In American, believing means have faith and understand something that, will happen. In Spanish, believing means you're going to be going out the door. That's where you're going to be living. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. So there is your Spanish word for the day, believing. So there you go. Yes, salty old fart, be leaving to El Salvador soon. You got that right. Mm-hmm. There you go, and there you go. Okay, hang on a second. Gotta get something else going here. Oh, come on. Okay, there it is. There it is. All right, we're cooking. All right, so there you go, and there you go. All right. I'm still trying to figure out the best way sometimes to do my show, and I've got this side monitor over here that allows me to see myself. It's a very disconcerting process. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Now, I told you guys that we'd be getting into a discussion tonight of the riots out in LA and everything that kind of goes along with it. So, well, wait a minute. Wait. What is this? What is this? Who's having a birthday? Who's having? Oh. Well, wait a minute. Are you having a birthday today? Seriously? Are you having a birthday? All right, I've been a little bit crazy. I haven't had a chance to check Facebook or anything like that. But are you, Lana? Are you having a birthday today? Oh my goodness. Well, if you are, happy birthday, darling. Anyway, moving along, because like I said, we got a ton of stuff to get into tonight. All right, we got to talk about the response to some of the riots, and the response is fairly interesting because there's the response of the people who live out in Los Angeles, and then there's the response of most people, more particularly. It's a secret message. Well, my apologies that I blew up the whole secret message thing. So there you go. My bad. But there's the response of some people, particularly out in Los Angeles, and then there's the response of President Trump. And I think you're going to begin to understand what I'm getting at. I don't know if this is politically correct on the part of the president or not, but I think he's getting his point across. I don't know, man. I don't know. The one thing about Trump right now that he really doesn't have to worry about re-election. So if he wants to get downright sassy, he's picking a really good way to do it with this message, folks. I'm just saying. Yeah. Happy deportation day. Holy cow. Woo, baby. Oy vey. Oh gosh. Hang on. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. All right. What else do we have in the way of the merry memes tonight? Thank our friends over at the Patrick Bet David channel for that one. Now, I will say this much. Some people are frankly very unimpressed with these so-called riot. And I know you and I use the term riot, but in the minds of some of these people that are watching all this crap go down, they're not even willing to call it a riot. Seriously. I mean, folks, I mean, the opinion of some of these people is just kind of astounding to me that they're being so harsh about all this. I mean, for example, I mean, look, I know you may not want to call it a riot, but listen, lectern guy, seriously, this is the take you're going to come down on all this? Calling the LA riots weak? Oh my God, man, that's just wrong in so many different ways. Goodness me, I mean, that just seems like a little bit over the top. You know. Oh, so you're saying it's not a demonstration? Oh, okay. Well, I tend to agree with you, but the lectern guy, he's not ready to call it a riot yet. I mean, in his mind, when they start threatening democracy, yeah, well, okay, then you can call it a riot. I don't know, though. That to me seems a little bit tough. That's a little bit tough. I'm just saying. Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness me. Man, that's just harsh. That is just really harsh. Anyway, all right. What else is going on out there? Well, you got to give Donald Trump credit for one thing. Okay, he's definitely staying on top of the situation. I mean, according to reports, oh, I know, dear. I know he's being facetious. I'm just trying to play along with it and have some fun. My apologies. Anyway, you got to give President Trump credit. Okay. He's on the phones, according to reports. He's working in the Situation Room. He's keeping an eye on everything going on out there in California. As a matter of fact, he recently, unbeknownst to people, he did a flyover of the situation out in LA. And I don't know, man. I don't know if this is the politically correct take that he wants to be associated with, but it's Trump. So what are you going to do? I mean, I'm just saying, well, it makes, I don't know. This is, but it's Trump. So I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, okay. Let's build a wall around California. I don't know, man. I don't know. Now, this is very true. Very, very true. Indeed. And frankly, I think we're right. To be honest with you, Gypsy, we're right on the edge. And that's what's, well, I don't even know if we're even on the edge. Frankly, I'm sort of thinking that it's kicked off and we're there. And now it's just a flat out fight for the soul of the country. And not just a fight in the metaphorical sense. I think it's an actual fight physically. But, that's just me. We'll get into some of that a little bit later. Anyhow, what else do we have? Now, I will say this. Believe it or not, the one party in all of this that's going on these days are the Canadians. Seriously. The Canadians are helping out in quite a few ways. And if nothing else, the Canadians are helping out by reminding us of the important things in life and why it is that they are considered one of the most unique people in all the world. I mean, after all, when you see a Canadian, remember, they're always holding doors open. And even if if somebody is 10 steps behind them, they will make sure to be polite enough to hold the door open. Some people might call it weird. They just call it being Canadian. You got to love those Canucks. You got to love them. Civility. Civility. Let's see. The rioters in L.A. effed around, and now they're. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, Robert, I do not know. I do not know to what you refer, but I have a feeling I agree with your sentiment. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Just saying. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. Goodness me. All right. What else we got? Now. Ah. We're always trying to figure out, particularly people who speak the English language, we're always trying to figure out not only how we should say something, but more particularly, how we should write it. And given what is going on out in LA, there are a lot of words being used, and many of them are quite salty. Guests on this show, and sometimes people in chat, have been prone to drop the F-bomb. But that sort of presents you a problem if you're writing. In other words, what's the best way or the most appropriate way to use the F word, and what kind of punctuation should be associated with it if you do? Well, this is something that apparently has bothered, linguistic scholars for quite some time. I mean, for example, here we have a picture of some folks working at, I guess, an old newspaper house from way back in the day. And quick question, is it for fuck's sake or for fuck's sake? Is it, it's for a work email, so it has to sound professional? Neither. And here's a guy giving his interpretation of what you ought to do with the F word. Apparently, he says it needs to be possessive. It should have an apostrophe to show the possessive. The real question is whether it should be for F's sake or for fuck's sake. Is it for the sake of all the fucks or just the fuck in particular? I mean, you see the problem. I mean, this is something that apparently has plagued writers for all of time. What are you going to do in this kind of a situation? I don't know. What do you do? You could do that. You could do that, my friend. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, you could do that. You could. That's one way of handling it. All right. What else do we have? Well, give the Californians credit. Californians are a number of different things, and if nothing else, they are extremely creative. As a matter of fact, they've taken their creativity and they think they found a new way how to combat the current situation that's going on out there on the streets, or perhaps in future. So they've started posting these signs, and you know what? Doggone it, the Californians feel like this is going to be extraordinarily effective. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, take that, you criminals. Salty old fart over on Rumble says the mainstream media and the Democrats had to adjust the optics since all the noticing over here. We're going to get into that too. We're going to get into that. That's a good point, Salty, but we'll definitely bring up that. So, but yeah, the Californians, they think they got a good handle on this thing. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Lana says, referring to one of our previous memes, harken back to my Irish roots and employ a vowel to fech when it's used more playfully. When I'm angry, I stick to the traditional spelling. Well, now that's accommodating of you. I mean, that's a good way to massage the word for the appropriate situation. I applaud that. I applaud your creativity on that. Oh my word! Oh my word! Oh, what else is going on out there? Good grief! Just straight craziness. All right, we got a couple more here, and then we're going to dive into our topic of the night. Well, one of them anyway. Oh yeah. Have you? Oh yeah. Well, let's just do one more, and then we're going to dive straight in here. Have you ever wondered what it's like for a based person or a MAGA person to live next door to somebody who they don't agree with on such things? Have you ever wondered sometimes the look or the expression that they get on their face when they see their neighbors going through a certain amount of schadenfreude? Well, somebody came up with a great way to describe the look. And you know what? It's pretty good. I'm just going to let this one hang right up there for a second. So, y'all can enjoy that one. And to borrow an old expression, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. There you go. And there you go. All right. As always, we thank everybody who has contributed to the Merry Memes section of the show, particularly this night, WWG1. And man, as always, you tended to bail me out. So WWG1, hat tip to you, brother, because, man, without those memes, we all wouldn't have nearly quite the chuckles that we do. So much thanks. Much thanks. All right. Oh, it's been going on now for about 4 or 5 days. As I said, my apologies to you, my audience, because frankly, I probably should have just been streaming, but being the one-man band, and I've got stuff I got to do around the house and life, let's just put it that way, videos have not been forthcoming. So we're going to have a lot to get into tonight about this whole LA riot thing. And hopefully, some of the information I'm going to bring is illuminating, will answer some questions, provoke some conversation, and dispel any myths that are already starting to build. And by myths, I mean this. I knew that Gavin Newsom was a liar. Okay? Ain't no doubt about that. Governor Gavin Newsom of California, I used to think Bill Clinton was the best political liar that I ever saw in my life. I'm starting to rethink that position. I remember the days when Bill Clinton was called Slick, okay, or Der Schlickmeister by the late Rush Limbaugh, because Clinton was just that smooth as a liar. I mean, that man could lie with a complete straight face. You could be standing outside with Bill Clinton and look up at the sky and know that there's not a cloud in the sky. It's a clear blue sky, right? Thank you for reminding me of this, Gypsy. Thank you for reminding me of this, because I have got to ask. And matter of fact, let me just go ahead and bring this up right now. Thank you for reminding me of this. I had not forgotten, but Robert, Lana, how close do either one of you live to Vinton or Jackson County, Ohio? Now, there's a reason why I'm asking this. There is a reason why I'm asking Robert and Lana how close they live to Jackson and Vinton counties, Ohio. The reason I bring that up, and I got to thank Gypsy for bringing this one to my attention before we went on the air tonight. There is a massive explosion that has taken place in and around the area of Vinton County, Ohio. And I will just pop this up on the screen. Communities are under an evacuation order after a large chemical leak. After a large chemical leak from an explosives plant in southeast Ohio is sending hazardous air into nearby areas. Jackson County Emergency Manager Robert Shalusky said the explosion at the Austin Powder Company's Red Diamond facility happened around 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday. Officials said the chemical wafting into the air is nitric oxide. Potential exposure can include irritated eyes, drowsiness, possible loss of consciousness. The leak on the ground at Red Diamond was nitric acid, but a reaction created by nitric oxide plumes is now seen over the region. Winds have expanded the concerns to areas outside the immediate area. Vinton County Sheriff evacuated residents in the village of Zaleski, as well as along Creek Road, Morgan Road, Infirmary Road, State Route 677. Quote, please, if you're able or know someone, you can call in the village to evacuate to 278 East of Zaleski to US 50 to avoid the exposure and roadblocks, the sheriff's office said. National Weather Service in Charleston, West Virginia provided plume updates to emergency managers showing the plume was headed south from the facility. So we just want to make sure, are you guys okay? I mean, are you out of harm's way on this one? Okay. Nowhere close to me. I'm in the suburbs around Cincinnati. Depending on how fast I drive, you're about 45 minutes away. Okay. So, all right, cool. All right, just making sure you guys are okay. Just making sure you're okay. So, wait a minute. What do you mean it's not real? Oh, okay. Between East Palestine and what's happening. Okay. I think I get where you're going, Jessica. My bad. Sorry, dear. I gotta stop picking on you tonight. Daggone it. Every time you say something, I'm just jumping up and down all over it. I gotta stop picking on you, darling. I apologize. Okay. Okay. All right. One other thing before we really dive. I apologize. I'm not trying to tease you guys. I'm just trying to be, completely up to date with everybody about stuff going on. I don't know if you guys have heard about this yet or not, but there is something potentially getting ready to go down in the Middle East. And this is just a little bit more than scary. I'm not going to lie to you. And let me bring this up, or try to anyway. This one is just very, very frightening to me, because if this indicates what I think it does, or what some people think is going to happen, this definitely is not good. From the Washington Post, headline, U.S. shrinks presence in Middle East amid fears of Israeli strike on Iran. U.S. embassies and military bases across the region are on high alert. This is updated about 28 minutes ago. Article by John Hudson, Karen DeYoung, Dan Lamuth, and Adam Taylor. We got the following. The United States is on high alert in anticipation of a potential Israeli strike on Iran, with the State Department authorizing the evacuation of some personnel in Iraq and the Pentagon greenlighting the departure of military families across the Middle East. The heightened security environment comes as President Donald Trump expresses dimming hopes of achieving a deal with Iran that would restrict its nuclear program and forestall a potentially cataclysmic new military confrontation in the Middle East. Quote, I am less confident now than I would have been a couple of months ago. Something happened to them, but I am much less confident of a deal being made, Trump told the New York Post. In recent months, U.S. intelligence officials have grown increasingly concerned that Israel may choose to strike Iran's nuclear facilities without the consent of the United States. Such a move would almost certainly scuttle the Trump administration's delicate nuclear negotiations and prompt an Iranian retaliation on U.S. assets in the region. Tehran has long said the United States, as Israel's biggest military and political supporter, would suffer consequences in the event of an Israeli strike on Iran. The State Department recently ordered all embassies within striking distance of Iranian assets, including missions in the Middle East, but also Eastern Europe and North Africa, to convene emergency action committees and send cables back to Washington about measures to mitigate risk. That procedure led Secretary of State Marco Rubio's decision on Wednesday to authorize the departure of non-essential personnel in Iraq. Folks, now keep in mind, this is coming from the Washington Post. So take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. But, oh God, if this is true, I hope the Israelis hold off on this. I really do. Now, here's the kicker to it. And again, everybody's saying something right now, so take it all with a grain of salt. There were reports, as of about 48 hours ago, coming out of Tehran, that the negotiations between the U.S. and Iran over a nuclear deal were actually going fairly well. As a matter, I'm not going to say it was concluded, but things were looking pretty positive. Then all of a sudden we get this news. I'm like, I really hope the Israelis do not do this. I really do. But on the other hand, if the Secretary of State's giving an evacuation order to non-essential personnel, This is scaring me. This is scaring me bad. So just thought I'd put it out there. Matter of fact, hang on a second. Now, if you guys want to read this thing or more of it, I will drop this in chat on both sides. There it is on Rumble. And give me a second here and I'll drop it in on, I will drop it in on the YouTube side. So there you go. Okay. Just wanted to put those out there because, like I said, they were breaking about the time I was just starting to set up the live stream. So wanted to try and get that out there. Okay, let us get into our topic of the night, which is the LA riots. And like I said, a lot of what I'm going to be doing tonight with you guys, and some of this information you may have heard, some of these clips you may have seen, etc. But I'm just trying to put together my thoughts about all of it and try and lay out information and get your guys' take on it. And as always, to stir a conversation, let's just see what everybody's thinking about this. One of the first, what I'll call myths, is that all this got started because Tom Homan, as the border czar, and Immigration and Customs Enforcement were performing raids in Los Angeles to round people up, and drag them back to their country of origin. Well, that's not the case necessarily. Yes, there were ICE operations that were going on the ground Thursday and Friday of last week. However, and this is a tweet from Peter Schweitzer, who is a really good journalist, the border czar, Tom Homan, revealed on MSNBC in an interview he did that the raids that sparked the violent LA riots were not for immigration purposes. Homan explained that the raids that took place in downtown LA on Friday were part of a criminal investigation into, now check this out, a money laundering scheme and cartel activity. It was not an immigration raid. It was to the service of 3 criminal warrants at locations based on large criminal conspiracy that ICE was investigating. So, contrary to what everybody or some people have been saying, this was not, okay, we're going to grab them and throw them out of the country. No, they were, according to Homan, they were doing an investigation of what, something related to money laundering and smuggling. However, I don't think the protesters, let me rephrase that. I don't think the rioters needed much of an excuse to start doing what they were doing. And that's exactly what they did. They just needed anything. I mean, frankly, at this point, you could have sneezed in the general direction of these rioters, and that would have been enough. They would have just said, all right, let's get it on. Let's start this party. Okay. But that sort of begs the question, and I think an appropriate one. Who are these people? Okay. Who the heck are these people that are doing all this? Well, all right. Here's some information for you that maybe you have or have not seen. These rioters are wearing Palestinian keffiyehs, and they're throwing bricks at police officers and ICE agents through the windows of SUVs. Yeah, contrary to the statements made by Democrats and people in the press, these are not peaceful protests. Okay? Not in the slightest. I don't even want to use the word protesters anymore where these people are concerned. Okay? Forget it. They're rioters. They are committing vandalism and they're rioting. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Now, one thing that just makes me mad in all this is people like Brian Stelter over at CNN who are saying, oh, well, you can't really believe everything you're seeing because these clips that everybody's looking at, they're not being vetted, they're not being time stamped. You could be looking at something from a couple of days ago, and well, we don't really know what's going on out in L.A. Oh, let's see. So you're trying to tell me that when I walk in on somebody and I find them doing something blatantly wrong, they're going to look at me and go, "Now, you going to believe me or what you see with your lying eyes?" At some point, guys, and this is just me ranting here for a second, so I apologize. At some point, you would think that the press would realize that the jig is up. They can't do this anymore. Now, what am I saying with this? What I'm saying is them telling us, "Oh, no, don't believe what you see with your eyes. Believe us because we're trained journalists and we got degrees from Columbia and Princeton and Harvard and all these places where journalists get degrees from. Believe us because we're the credentialed class and you don't know what's going on. You're not smart enough to know what's going on. Don't believe what you see, believe what we tell you." I'm sorry, those days are done. They are almost completely done. There are a handful of people that will not believe what you show them. Okay? But most everybody's reached the point they don't trust the press anymore, and they're willing to not only open their eyes, rhetorically speaking, they're willing to see it and say, "Yep, they're rioting. This is not peaceful protest." Okay? Oh yeah. Cars up in flames, peaceful protest. You cannot accuse these people of being rioters. They're just peaceful protesters. WWG1 over on Rumble says, hey Brian, talking about Brian Stelter, get your ass out there and find out, Mr. Stelter. Totally agree. Which is also another point. How can these people say what one thing is or another unless they're actually out there seeing what's going on? I mean, they're sitting there saying, "Well, the common folk out there are just look at these timestamp clips and they're coming to the wrong conclusion." Well, by the same token, you're looking at the same clips we are and you're coming to a conclusion. How can you guys possibly know what's going on unless you're willing to get out there on the streets and do some actual reporting? And even then, I wouldn't trust anything CNN tells me, because I remember 5 years ago during the summer of George Floyd, when a reporter from CNN was standing in Minneapolis, flames behind him from buildings burning to the ground. He said, "Well, there's mostly peaceful protesters here." Whatever. Maddie, hang on, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Long time no see. And welcome in from Twitter. Oh, we love it when we get people coming in from Twitter. Good to have you here. Don't trust the press, the doctors, and the politicians. Amen. Amen. Yeah, exactly, Z Highness. Exactly. We're not stupid. Not in the slightest. Salty Old Fart says, WWG1, I almost can't believe that CNN hired Stelter back. I'm kind of shocked by that too, Salty. I ain't going to lie. Yeah, hey, we're with you on this one, sister. We're totally with you. But again, who are these protesters? Well, we got a little more information to share with you for what it's worth. And again, maybe you've seen these tweets, maybe you haven't. Hopefully we're providing some information that's useful and valuable to you. Got one here. Here's something real interesting about this. Supposedly, all these protesters are, the minorities, the Latino community, they're all upset about this. Oh my God, their families are being deported, yada, yada, yada. Try this on for size. GPS data from the Los Angeles riots, and this was from yesterday, actually, per Tony Saruga, and he's on Twitter as a commentator, reveals that at least 309 tracked devices are linked to ultra-wealthy homes worth over $10 million in areas like Brentwood, Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Malibu, Palo Alto, and cities such as New York, Seattle, and Maui. 79% of them reportedly fly 3 or more times a year. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Wait a second. Hold the phone. I thought these rioters were Los Angelinos just rising up in protest at the evil Donald Trump and his evil henchmen in ICE and evil Tom Homan. Wait a minute. What's all these white people doing protesting? The heck is that? 300 GPS tracking data? 309 of these devices come from wealthy homes. I mean, what do we got? A bunch of Brentwood protesters, Bel Air protesters, Beverly Hills protesters? The heck is this? The heck is this? Seriously? Seriously? Hey, small times in the house. Good to see you. Howdy, J6 was the only non-peaceful protest in human history. Mm-hmm. Preach it, brother. Preach it. Mm-hmm. Preach. Let's see what else. Maddie says, hasn't the feds proven that they track anyone in protest zones? So anyone who there goes. Good point. Good point. Silver, that's a great way to describe it, Z Highness. Silver spoon protesters. That's a great way to describe it. Silver spoon protesters. I love that. I absolutely love it. Yeah. I mean, guys, I'm sorry. And I'm going to say something to this group that, everyone's going to sit there and go, duh. Thanks for coming to the party, Brian. Too bad you got here too late. No, these are not Angelinos rising up against, the rich and powerful white guy. No, these are a bunch of white paid protesters. Sorry. Now, what do I mean by paid? How are they doing this? How are they doing this? Well, Atlanta, here's a good point. Rich, bored, over educated white kids. They've been brainwashed by college profs, and they have no. Good point. Good point indeed. They're paid for protesters. I'm sorry, that's exactly what they are. Paid for protesters. Bought and paid for, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, if you don't believe me, I got something for you here. Check this out. Let me get this thing pulled up on the screen. You guys can kind of follow along with it. I got a story here from a guy by the name of Steve Richards, and he posted this a couple of days ago at justthenews.com. Check this out. Headline: Group at the center of initial anti-ICE protest funded by, get ready, California and the federal government. Article by Stephen Richards, we got the following. Second paragraph. The Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, CHIRLA, staged one of the first Los Angeles rallies last week protesting the ICE raids in the city. Go a little further into that article. CHIRLA rallied alongside other member groups of the LA Rapid Response Network, according to the public post on the Instagram account. The organization was joined by the SEIU and the LA Teachers Union, among other immigrant groups. Now, get ready, because your blood's going to boil when you read this. State of California financial documents show that CHIRLA received a significant portion of its recent operating budgets from both state and federal government funding for immigration services. Quote, during the fiscal year that ended in June 30, 2023, the organization received government contracted revenue of $33,966,572, including $32 million blah, 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 or 96% from the state of California, according to immigration-related services, the group's most recent financials read. A similar percentage of revenue from the state of California was recorded in the previous year. And finally, their response to all this. Okay. CHIRLA did not respond to a request for comment from Just the News. The group had previously told the New York Post that it was not involved in the violent riots that took place over the weekend. A spokesperson said the group, quote, organized a press event on Thursday to protest the initial ICE raids and has been sending legal observers to immigration courts and detention centers on Friday, Saturday, and today as part of the LA Rapid Response Network. But, quote, we have not participated, coordinated, or been a part of the protest being registered in Los Angeles other than the press conference and the rally cited above. So they tell us. And maybe they are innocent of this. Okay, maybe they are innocent of this. But as most of y'all know, and is now being reported by independent journalists, these protesters are being funded. It just so happens these groups, the ones we just read about, they were funded in large part by the state of California. Now, again, maybe the groups that I read about here didn't participate in the riots. But my point is, as I said a moment ago, they're being funded by outside groups, and they're taking that funding and using it in ways nobody ever thought about. Yeah. Oh, amen. Oh, yeah. They got federal taxpayer funds there. Yep, they did. Mm-hmm. And your use of the F word there is wholly appropriate. I think I've got a tweet from Savannah, as a matter of fact, that I'm going to be playing a little bit later here in the live stream. So this is who they are. Bunch of silver spoon white kids engaging in violent protest. Now, you heard me use the expression they're paid for. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean they're paid for? Well, just to prove a point, can y'all explain something to me? If these protests are as organic as everybody says they are, and, these are just people rising up in the streets, can somebody explain to me how it is that these folks are getting their hands on a bunch of face shields? Bionic face shields, as a matter of fact. Here's a clip from the Benny Johnson show, and let's check it out.
Describe where it just feels like something's going to happen and you're waiting for it to happen. And
bionic, where are they getting those? Can somebody explain that to me? Where are they getting those? Who is paying for those? If this were just some kind of like, the common folk are rising up and peacefully protesting in the streets, that'd be one thing. A bionic face shield? And why do I have the feeling there was more than one of these floating around out there? Anyway, check this out.
You can look around, you see the National Guard in front of the federal building, but as far as this intersection where we're seeing all this take place, there's no local police to be seen. Yeah. And we have people handing out masks and gas masks, and we just saw people graffitiing the sidewalk right in front of this truck, and we've seen people doing burnouts in the street. There's no local law enforcement around.
Gas masks, face shields, masks in general. This is a great question, sir. This is an absolutely great question. Can somebody explain this to me? Because I don't get it. I don't get this one at all. Salty Old Fart over on Rumble says, Trump's been removing that money, but not fast enough. Amen. I get you. I absolutely get you, Salty. And you're right. Christy Nome, Tulsi Gabbard, Trump, they're all cutting off the money as fast as they possibly can. But I agree with you. Ain't fast enough. Did someone find another casting call? One of those ads seeing people show up for Twitter dollars a day. Oh, for X dollars a day. I'm sorry. Don't know. Oh, hang on a minute. What's this? What is this? Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh, going back to that story about Ohio down there in Vinton County evacuation. Okay. All right. Good news. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. Organic protest of minorities and Latinos in Los Angeles rising up against the horrible King Trump and his minion Tom Homan and his minions at ICE. Gas masks, bionic face masks, graffiti on the streets, burnouts, cops aren't showing up, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. Yeah, buddy. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I'm not buying it. Well, we know who they are, and we know what they're doing. So let's talk for a second or two about everybody's response to it. One of the things that kind of cracks me up in all of this, absolutely cracks me up in all this, is not only the just plain old ineffectual response by the press and by Democrats, but just the weakness of everything they're doing. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. We've got violent protesters in Los Angeles. And when I say weakness, I'm not talking about what they're doing. They're doing damage to people and property and businesses. Okay. And the citizens of California have gone through enough. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not letting them off the hook. They voted for these politicians that in part are doing to them what's being done. So the people of California and Los Angeles in particular bear responsibility for what's going on. Oh, that's a harsh thing to say. Harsh but true. They voted in Karen Bass. They voted in Gavin Newsom. They voted in their congresswoman or congressman. Okay? They voted in their state assemblyman, their state senator, the people that have made California what it is right now. So the people of California bear a certain responsibility for what's going on out there. They put the politicians in place that are exacerbating this problem. Okay? That said, however, I am a compassionate front porch conservative. You know, it's not good what they're going through there. Okay. Sheriff of Not In My Hood. I love it. I love you guys. I absolutely love you guys. Oh my gosh. Salty, we'll catch you later, brother. I understand you got mod duties. Be good, brother. But when I say the weakness of the arguments, what I'm talking about is, I can't believe Trump's calling in the National Guard. This is terrible. This is awful. No one's ever done this. This is unprecedented. Normally, you wait for the governor to send in the National Guard. I can't believe Trump's doing this. Oh, yeah? Really? You can't believe Trump's doing this, huh? Let me take you back in time, folks. You remember the Rodney King riots in, of all places, Los Angeles? Remember that? Remember the burning? Remember the Korean rooftop shooters? Remember all that? How did order get restored in Los Angeles in the midst of that? Back in, 92, I think it was? How did that happen? Real simple. George Herbert Walker Bush mobilized the National Guard, the U.S. Army, and the Marines to stop the violence in L.A. in 92. What? Y'all, that's right. That's right. We have done this before. And by the way, lest you think it's only Republican presidents that have done this, may I remind you, in the days of segregation, there were moments when Eisenhower, LBJ, others order the National Guard in over the objections of governors of those states in the South. Now, I'll agree with this. Yeah, the poor and the elderly in those areas that cannot escape. Usually the only grocery store in the neighborhood gets burned to the ground. I agree. I agree with you there. I'm not, like I say, I'm trying to balance, I'm trying to balance a certain amount of compassion with a certain amount of, okay, you did contribute to your own mess. Okay. It doesn't mean I'm just like, oh, well, okay, you made your mess, now just deal with it. No, I like you. I recognize there are people that bless their hearts. They're just trying to live their lives. But on the other hand, you're there because either you or people voted for these politicians that are letting this happen to you. Which, it makes me sad. But on the other hand, you kind of, I won't say you asked for it, but, Now, let's go back to this question about the National Guard for a minute. George Herbert Walker Bush called in the National Guard in 92 in Los Angeles to put down the Rodney King riots. So it's not like Trump's not justified here. And by the way, Democrats don't mind using the National Guard. You don't believe me? Y'all remember this? I got to thank our friends over at the Libs of TikTok for this one. From the New York Post back in 2022, governor calls up the National Guard because of, wait for it, 50 migrants, they call them, at Martha's Vineyard. This cracks me up. Now think about it. Y'all remember this, how this went down, right? It was either Governor DeSantis or Governor Abbott bust about 50 migrants into Martha's Vineyard. And in 48 hours, they were moved out. But not before the governor of Massachusetts, Martha Healy, called in the National Guard to help remove them. Now, we're not talking about, there were never any reports of rioting. There were never any reports of burning. There were never any reports of looting. No. They just happened to show up, and the liberals up there were so upset. Oh my God, we got to get rid of these people. Oh my God, get them out of here. Call in the National Guard. And that's exactly what they did. Over 50. Why did they do it? Over 50 migrants. That's why the Democrat governor up there called in the National Guard. So please don't give me this whole, the world is coming to an end. A Republican president called in the National Guard. Oh my God, I'm going to faint. Oh, give me a break. Give me a break. It's a good point. Exactly. They'll complain about the National Guard only when it suits them. Salty, you're still here. Don't forget about the National Guard at Kent State during the Vietnam War. Also Democrats. Exactly. Yep. And there's another great, thank you, Small Time. That is a great point. Remember, the libs back in 2022, these poor illegal immigrants, bring them to Martha's Vineyard. We'll treat them with compassion. We'll be kind to them, unlike Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis and all these nasty Republican governors. Well, all right. Greg Abbott took him at their word, said, all right, by God, you want some illegal immigrants? I'll send them up to you. He bust them right up there. What happened when they rolled up? Get the National Guard. Oh my God, we got to get the National Guard. We got illegal immigrants running around. They might actually talk to us. We might actually have to do something. Just unbelievable, these people. But again, it keeps on going on and on and on. Here's another good. Hey, for y'all in Minnesota. Whoa, hey, stop that. I got one for you. I got one for you. Do you all know that Tim Walz used the National Guard to make sure that people stayed locked up in their houses during the COVID lockdowns? Y'all remember this? I got one for you. Try this on for size, okay? Here, check this out. These are images of the National Guard going through neighborhoods in Minneapolis, Minnesota, making sure people were abiding by the curfew rules.
Oh, there's more. Look at this. They just keep coming.
Go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light him up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Yeah, I can't believe this awful Trump. I cannot believe he'd be so mean and cruel and nasty as to just use the National Guard. Hey! Oh, whoa. Hold on, you Democrats. You have not a problem one. You have not a problem one using the National Guard when it suits your purposes. T. Gagliotti says, but the governor has the authority to deploy the National Guard, not POTUS. Okay, now, T. Gagliotti, I'm not necessarily going to get into a legal argument with you on this because I am not on the best of ground here. Not because I'm not ready to debate the question, but because I'm not ready to debate the question. What I mean is, there is apparently some legal authority that allows the president to deploy a National Guard over the objections of the governor. And like I said, for example, I was just talking about some years ago back in the 90s when George Herbert Walker Bush put down the Rodney King riots in L.A. in 92. And prior to that, there have been, going back into the 60s and the 50s, when the president of the United States deployed National Guard troops, particularly in the South during the days of segregation. So, yeah, do I really want them to invoke posse comitatus? Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Now, for those of you not familiar with what T. Gagliotti is talking about, posse comitatus refers to laws passed post-Civil War, if I remember correctly. The posse comitatus laws forbid the federal military from being used in civilian police action. I agree with you. I don't want to see that happen either, but I'm not totally sure that that's the purpose for which they're being used out in LA. So you're right. I'm not wishing for it because that's blurring of a line that I don't want to see happen. But on the other hand, I'm not exactly sure what total purpose they're being put out there for, unless it's to assist with bringing order, not necessarily arresting people or engaging in civil police action. So that would be my caveat. But I agree with you. I'm with you on that part. Small Time says, my understanding is the president can deploy the guard to protect federal property at will. I don't know. Okay. All right. I have heard that as well. Also see Whiskey Rebellion. Okay. Fair point. And I will have to refresh my memory on that one. Thank you, sir. Yeah, going back to my point a minute ago, Democrats don't mind using the National Guard. Let me see. Oh, do I want to play that one or not? Yeah, I'll save that one. Gavin's going through enough abuse right now, which, by the way, I think he deserves. But anyway, we'll get to that. Anyway, sorry, had to talk to myself there for a second. Okay. Thank you, Robert. The president can deploy National Guard if it's to protect federal property and to quell insurrection. WWG1 over on Rumble says, the individual state National Guards have been crisscrossing the nation and the world for 5+ years. You wouldn't see that unless you had already been federalized. Fair point. Now, in a situation like what we find ourselves in right now, one would you basically have one of two options in terms of how you want to respond. Some governments over the years have said, okay, maybe we went too far. Let's back off of what we're doing here. I don't think that's going to be the response of this current administration. As a matter of fact, here's a headline that might back me up. From NBC News, ICE protests, over 200 arrested in LA, National Guard deployed to Texas, rallies to continue. But more important than that, let me see if I can find it. Oh, come on. Where is it here? I was looking for something in particular. Where is it? Yeah, sorry about that. No, ICE has announced that they are going to issue, or let's just say not necessarily issue, that's not the word I'm looking for, deploy. Thank you. They have announced they're going to deploy tactical teams in 5 major cities around the United States. New York, Chicago, Portland, and I'm trying to think of who the other 2 were. But ICE has no intention of backing down on this. And frankly, I don't think they should. Remember what I said at the top of this discussion, what kicked this off? ICE wasn't engaged directly in an effort of capturing illegal immigrants and deporting them. What they were doing in Los Angeles was related to investigation of cartel activity and illegal smuggling and money laundering. They were doing an investigation. These protesters, these rioters, were simply looking for the excuse. That's it. They just wanted the excuse to get it on. Period. End of discussion. So, no, I'm not buying it. Not in the slightest. I am not buying it. So, yeah, ICE has said, no, we're not backing off of this. Not at all. We're just moving on down the road with it. Now, let's get to a discussion about Gavin Newsom. Yeah, I said when we started to dive into this, I said, I used to think that Bill Clinton was the best liar in the Democrat Party. Truly, I truly used to believe that. I'm not so sure anymore. I've never seen anybody quite like Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom, like I started to say before I got off on a couple other side topics, Gavin Newsom's the kind of guy who could walk outside and you could look up and we could look up at the sky and see there's not a cloud. And you ask Gavin Newsom, hey, Gavin, is the sky blue? No, the sky's not blue. It's red. But Gavin, I'm standing right here. I can see that the sky is blue. No, it's red. It's red. Oh no. We'll get to this. We'll get to this. Because I got a little something a little later on. We're going to get to this. Not at all. But Gavin is out. I mean, for example, to show you how much of a liar Gavin is, Gavin's out there making the statement on Twitter is like, "Oh, Trump never even called me about this. He never said anything to me about this." Really? Seriously? So Trump never called you, huh? All right. Gavin, can you explain why the phone records for the President of the United States show that he had like a 16-minute phone call with you on June the 7th when all this was going down? Seriously? Really? Gavin, you're really going to try and make this stick? It's just, this guy is just absolutely unbelievable. He is an unbelievable liar and a horrible governor. Truly, he is. The man genuinely hates the people of California. Genuinely hates the people of California. Now, you're sitting out there going, oh, he doesn't hate the people. He's the governor. He's been elected twice. Well, they may have elected him, but that doesn't mean he loves them. I'm sorry. You cannot convince me he has any love for the people of California. If he had any love for the people of California, he would not let what is happening to them happen. He wouldn't let Los Angeles burn to the ground in the Palisade fires. He wouldn't let the resources of California be put in such a state that they couldn't be utilized to put out fires. He wouldn't let, environmentalists run amok in California to the point they've almost ruined the state. He wouldn't let taxes be so high such that people are suffering, working 2 or 3 jobs just to try and maintain a standard of living. No, I'm sorry. This man hates the people that he governs. And you will never convince me otherwise. Same thing with Karen Bass, the mayor of LA. She hates Los Angeles people. And there was a time I might have said they were just misguided. No, these people hate the people they govern. And the sad part about it is the people out there vote them in. But I'm sorry, Gavin Newsom hates the people of California. Yeah, it's a good way. That's one way to describe it. That's one way to describe it. And Maddie, this is a really good point, my friend. Really good point. Really good. But Gavin absolutely has no love for the people of California. And then on top of that, not only does he not love them, he tries to act tough. So Tom Homan, the border czar, makes the statement, look, if the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, and the mayor of LA, Karen Bass, are interfering with us performing our duties as federal officers, we can have them arrested. Okay. Well, Gavin had something to say about that. And it goes like this.
Get your hands off these poor people. They're just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes. Been here 10 years. The fear, the horror. The hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. I don't give a damn. But I care about my community. I care about this community. The hell are they doing?
The hell you care about this community. The hell you care about the people you serve, sir. You are a lying sack of crap. You are excrement that I would not even want on the bottom of my shoes. And frankly, if you did get on the bottom of my shoes, I'd burn the shoes. That's how bad you are. Don't sit there and tell me you care about the people of California. You lying sack of excrement. You are terrible. You hate the people of California.
These guys need to grow up. They need to stop.
Yep, you sure do.
And we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So, Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
Well, not only that's not exhausting. I'll tell you what's exhausting there, big boy. What's exhausting is you sitting there and engaging in blatant hypocrisy. Blatant. No. He thinks that, small time, but I don't think it would. And frankly, I say arrest I'll put it this way. If it is shown and proven that his actions interfered with federal officials performing their duties, yeah, arrest him. Put him in handcuffs. Because I'm like you. I'm like you, small time. He thinks it'll help him. It's not going to be the same thing. The reason that people supported Donald Trump after his mugshot in Atlanta is they realized he was being railroaded. If Gavin Newsom interferes with federal officials performing their official duties, I don't think the people of California are going to have that much sympathy for him. And I know most people in the United States aren't going to have any sympathy for him. No, you don't have to apologize to me, dear, because yeah, you're right. He does deserve them. Yep. And small time, I wholeheartedly concur with you on this. Wholeheartedly. WWG1, going back to a point I made earlier, said, are you sure the people voted Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass in with all the election fraud? Okay. Fair point. I'm just saying they are the elected officials in California and the city of Los Angeles. But your point is well taken, sir. I agree. So he's doing nothing to help the people of Los Angeles. He's doing nothing but, standing there saying, come on, man, arrest me. Come on, let's have it. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Careful what you wish for, Gavin, because you just might wind up getting it. And then on top of that, he gives a speech for like 8 minutes. He tries to do it on national television, and in a sign of how things were going to go for him, the first however many minutes of it, the sound didn't work. However, they did recover part of it, and I've got a clip of that which I will be happy to play for you guys. So Gavin gave a speech the other night on national television, and let's just hear how profound he was. Okay, I don't know that really helped his situation, but thank you very much, Governor Newsom. Now, okay, obviously I'm having a little bit of fun here, but he gives an 8-minute speech and does nothing but blame Trump for everything. Blame Trump. Trump's the problem. Trump caused this. It was his ICE agents that instigated all this. Yada, yada, yada. We had peace on the streets were it not for Donald Trump. California was a veritable haven for peace, but that we got to deal with Donald Trump. And then there's Karen Bass. Oh my God, this woman. I don't know whether Karen Bass is just accidentally stupid or deliberately stupid. I know she has no love for the people of Los Angeles. That's obvious. She's grossly incompetent. No, I take that back. I take that back. She is not grossly incompetent. She's doing exactly what she wants to do, to the detriment of Angelinos everywhere in the city of Los Angeles. Yeah, that's a good nickname for her. Dumb Bass, yeah. Yeah. Yep. She is incompetent and she's deliberate. She is intentionally stupid and she's accidentally stupid. I mean, just genuinely awful. And to show you how bad she is, here is her appearance the night that the riot started. Do me a favor, check this out.
Withdrawn. I don't think that is the way to bring peace in Los Angeles. I think that our law enforcement officers can handle this situation, but I just have to repeat again, it's a feeling here of intentional chaos.
Our police officers can handle all this. We've got the situation completely under control. Right. Yeah. Oh boy. Totally under control. Nothing to see here. Everything is fine. No issues. We're all good. Yeah. Right. What was that character in the name of the character that Kevin Bacon played in National Lampoon's Animal House. I can. He's a member of ROTC, and I can see Kevin. I just can't think of the name of the character. He's laying flat on the ground and says, "Everyone remain calm. Nothing, no reason to panic." That's Karen Bass right now in that moment. But it got worse for her while all this was going on. Totally worse. I mean, she's on with a local TV station, KCAL, out of Los Angeles, which I think is the local CBS affiliate out there. She's out there on the telephone with a local TV station, and while she's on there with them to show you how in touch she is with everything going on in Los Angeles, she didn't realize certain things are happening. For example,
we're just getting a post from LAPD right now. Mayor Bass, business owners are now reporting stores being looted in the area of 6th Street and Broadway.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, rioting, looting. Oh, I had no idea this was happening. Oh, this is terrible. Somebody help us. I don't know. Someone should call the mayor. You are the mayor. Oh, well, I didn't decide to do all that. Oy. There, like I said, there are so many ways that you could describe Karen Bass. Okay. And then now she's realizing, oh my gosh, we got all these problems now. All these problems. What are we going to do? And apparently the graffiti is so bad, they're going to have to cancel certain events. One of them being something they were looking forward to hosting. Check this out.
Especially of the graffiti that is just blanketing a number of blocks, has been extensive. We are 1 year away from the World Cup. This is about beautifying our city and bringing our city together. And so I am calling on business leaders, community leaders, faith leaders to come together downtown in the next few days to talk about how we are going to clean up the city.
We can start by recalling your sorry rear end. That's how we can bring the city together. Anyway, let's finish the clip. Sorry.
Obviously, city workers are already out there removing the graffiti, but this is so extensive, it's going to take community-wide involvement. We had launched a program called Shine LA a couple of months ago in preparation for the World Cup, and now we are called on to direct that citywide. We need people from all over the city to come to downtown and to help with this effort.
Unbelievable with this woman on a couple of fronts. Number one, she's more worried about a year from now, the World Cup, than she is with the basic everyday life of the citizens and the businesses that occupy Los Angeles. Oh, we got to get the city cleaned up. We got the World Cup coming in here in 1 year. Excuse me? What about my business down here where they've graffitied all over the place? They've made a mess of it, and you're more worried about making sure that the folks from out of town get a nice view of shiny LA than you are making sure that I get nice shiny LA on my little corner of this street. And here's a real good idea. I got no problem with this at all, brother. At all. Okay. Oh, the character was Niederman? Needham. Thank you, WWG1. I knew you'd know that. I mean, she's more worried about making sure, we got to make sure that people see that we don't have any problems here. So we got to get everybody together for a kumbaya meeting. Unbelievable, this woman. And the other reason that I find it absolutely incredible, y'all remember the old saying about an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? I don't know, Karen. How about you make sure that the cops are on the street and they have orders to arrest anybody that engages in this crap? Maybe, just maybe, you might actually prevent your city from being graffitied to death, burned down, looted, stolen from, people getting hurt, people going to hospitals. How about that? But instead, you want to make sure that everything is nice and shiny and pretty, and no one realizes that there are any problems out in LA. Oh, you useless, you communist, you hateful old communist. Your heart is full of hate for the people that you are the mayor over. If anybody out in Los Angeles is within the sound of my voice, be it on YouTube, on Rumble, or on Twitter, man, y'all got to recall that woman. She got to go. She has got to go. Y'all aren't going to have a city left by the time she's done with it. And some of y'all, bless your hearts, like one of my folks said earlier in chat, economically, you can't get out of the city. You can't move away fast enough. You're stuck there. Well, if you're going to be there, then bless your hearts, do something to save your own lives. Get her out of office. Maddie says, graffiti is astronomical in LA. You can't go anywhere. So now she cares? No wonder it'll take longer than a year to clean. Exactly. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. You don't let this stuff start. If you take care of it up front. Oh, hey, small time, I agree with you. I agree with you totally on this. How dare she try and get any of, even if they volunteered, even if they were to volunteer, I don't know that I'd let my employees do it. I mean, I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, this is true. This is absolutely true. Totally true. Totally true. Really? I had heard about this, but I had forgotten about it. And I'm a Celtics fan, and I'm like, man, you don't even do that kind of crap. Even as a Celtics fan, I wouldn't defame a Kobe Bryant memorial for so many different reasons. No, I say recall her. Get her out of there. She is just straight awful. She's terrible. And then, folks, I am normally not, normally I will do my best not to make your blood pressure go up. But God, this one I've got to play for you. I've got to do it. After everything she's gone through out there in Los Angeles, she has the gall, the unmitigated gall a couple of days ago to make the following statement. Folks, keep your blood pressure medicine close by. You're probably going to need it after you hear this.
We need to stop the raids. This should not be happening in our city. It is not warranted, and the only thing it does is contribute to chaos. This was chaos that was started at Washington, D.C. On Thursday, the city was peaceful. On Friday, it was not, because of the intervention of the federal government.
Y'all, would anybody like me to play that again? I'm going to. I love you. I'm not trying to make you mad, but it just, like I said, after everything her city has gone through, okay, after everything they've gone through out in Los Angeles, the fires out of Palisades, the crime, the vandalism, the graffiti, the everything else, you know what? She has the unmitigated gall to make this statement.
We need to stop the raids. This should not be happening in our city. It is not warranted, and the only thing it does is contribute to chaos. This was chaos that was started at Washington, D.C. On Thursday, the city was peaceful. On Friday, it was not, because of the intervention of the federal government.
No, the reason that your city wasn't peaceful on Friday is because you have a bunch of militant protesters militant rioters rioting, I guess, on behalf of Mexico, rioting on behalf of whoever in the name of trying to stir up trouble and dissension. All they needed was an excuse. Oh yeah. It's the federal government's fault. It's their fault because they came out to Los Angeles and were investigating cartel activity and money laundering. It's the fault of the federal government because they're actually trying to deport illegal criminal aliens, among others, but most particularly illegal criminal aliens from the streets of Los Angeles, so that people in Los Angeles and the state of California can feel just a little bit safer and go about the business of conducting their lives and their businesses in peace. Yeah, it's the fault of the federal government because everything was just so that. Oh yeah, that's what she's saying. That is exactly what she's saying, dear. It's the fault of the federal government that the federal government wanted to keep the people of Los Angeles safe and keep their businesses safe and their property safe. And if it weren't for those nasty old people in Washington, D.C. trying to do all that, we'd have the Los Angeles we want, which is some kind of dystopian hellhole. How dare they interfere with us creating a dystopian hellhole in a place that used to be the city of Los Angeles? Shame on Donald Trump. How dare he? How dare he? Unbe-frickin-leavable, this woman. Just awful. Awful, I say. Just incredible. I mean, she's a heartless communist. The woman hates the people that she purports to lead. She has to hate them. Only a person filled with hate would do to the people of Los Angeles what they're doing. You know, and this is a good point. People are wondering why Trump is being as forceful as he is now. The last time he left this up to the mayors of the cities and the governors, and he's not this time. Nope. And by the way, if you're holding out hope that other leaders out in California are somehow better than Newsom and Bass, ladies and gentlemen, may I refer you to the insightful and intellectually stimulating commentary of U.S. Representative Maxine Waters. Maxine, or Congresswoman Fishface, as I lovingly refer to her, because she looks like an old carp. Congresswoman Maxine Waters got off what maybe is the best. Oh no, I did not see this. I did not see this. Oh my goodness. Wow. Just wow. Okay. That'll be interesting. Hang on, I gotta jot myself a note here. LA belongs to Mexico. My God. Orlando, you married her, son. That's all I'm saying. You married her. Maxine Waters. Of all the folks out in California who had something to say about what's going on, this one is great. If you have not seen this, folks, get ready because you're going to be in for quite the treat. Now, there's sound on both sides of this, so understand that going in. But do me a favor and check this out.
And even those who were out of step with what we are advocating, peaceful protest, did not create any violence. Nobody was shot, nobody was killed. Get it in your head. And so when martial law is called, what are you going to say? I missed the point. Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence. There was no violence. I was on the street. I know. And I went from downtown detention back out into the community, talking to people what happened in Paramount, what happened in Compton, what happened in Inglewood. So, first of all, get it straight. And don't just rely on what you're being told or the few incidents that you saw.
I love this woman. Don't rely on what you're being told or the few incidents that you saw. Now, honey, are you going to believe me or what you see with your lying eyes? I mean, think about what Maxine Waters just said. Okay? Think about what she just said. Don't believe what you're being told or the few incidents that you see. That line is the only defense that the Democrats have for all of this. Don't believe what you're being told, and don't believe the few incidents that you see. Do not believe that the emperor really is naked. No, he has a great suit of clothes on. That suit of clothes is the finest hand-tailored suit in the entire realm. The emperor looks amazing in his new threads. New threads? What the hell are you talking about? He's naked as Jaybird. That's what Maxine and the Democrat Party wants the American people, not just the people of California, the American people to believe. There's no rioting here. There's no looting. There's no burning of cars. There's no, throwing of bricks. There's no people wearing gas masks. There's no people, whatever. No, not at all. Don't believe what you're being told, or don't believe the few incidents that you see. That line may very well go down as the penultimate comment about the intellectual vacancy of the Democrat Party. It may say more about what they think of the American people than anything that I could say in however long this live stream's been going now, about an hour and 40. Ooh, wow. Okay, hang on. Let me pull this up. Give me a second here, folks. Oh, Katie, honey. Oh, bless your heart. Lord have mercy. People, I can believe it. I really can't believe it, but on the other hand, I can believe it. Folks, for those of you out there who are Katy Perry fans, hang on a minute. Let me get back to where I need to be here. Okay, there we go. For those of you out there who are Katy Perry fans, this is going to make you sad. This is from her, I guess, what is it, Twitter? Yes, her Twitter. Los Angeles, a place that literally began as El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Angeles de Porciúncula. Hey, I'm from West Virginia. What do I know about Spanish? Founded by Mexican settlers 1781, this was once Mexican land, and the people being targeted today are often descendants of those who lived here for generations or who came here seeking safety, work, and dignity. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Uh-huh. Right. Bless her heart. Bless her pea-picking heart. Yeah, I agree. Just wow. Hang on a minute. I'm trying to shut something down here, and it's about to make me nuts. There we go. That's better. So where's it all going from here? I don't know, man. I don't know. They do, at this point, they do seem to have some measure of order restored. There's a curfew in Los Angeles right now. It's in effect. People are starting to be prosecuted. I mean, for example, I got a clip here. Well, it's not a clip. I won't play it, but I'll show it to you. U.S. Attorney Bill Esley announces federal charges for 2 criminals who threw Molotov cocktails at law enforcement in Los Angeles. Well, you shouldn't just stop at 2, brother. Get as many of them as you can. And ICE is not backing down. They're going forward. But that also begs some very interesting questions. Where does it go from here? Well, where it's going right now is even scarier. There are riots breaking out in Denver. This was from yesterday. Police declared an unlawful assembly in the city of Denver as anti-ICE rioters have taken over the streets. Chicago's even scarier than that. I mean, Chicago is really scary. And I managed to pull together a few images just to show you. These are from Chicago. The ones I'm about to put up now. Take a good look. Graffiti, people marching in the streets, cops trying to find some way to keep all this under control. Yeah. And by the way, lest you think that, that it stops with Karen Bass, the bad management, or maybe it's better to say the deliberate mismanagement of great cities. Folks, let me tell you something. If I am the people of Chicago right now, I would be terrified at what's coming in the next few days because their mayor, Brandon Johnson, oh gosh, this guy, you've got to see this. I'm just going to let it speak for itself.
They are absolutely terrified. And look, I remember a few stand-ups ago when I talked about what terrorism looks like. This is it. There should be no question to what our country would look like had the Confederacy won. We're seeing it on full display. And
let me play that again for y'all.
They are absolutely terrified.
I'm assuming he's talking about the people of Chicago, but no, I have a feeling he's talking about illegal aliens.
And look, I remember a few stand-ups ago.
Which, by the way, when he says stand-ups, during a city council meeting in Chicago, the mayor is always standing as more or less the chair of the proceedings.
When I talked about what terrorism looks like, this is it. There should be no question to what our country would look like had the Confederacy won. We're seeing it on full display. And
yeah, so trying to enforce the law which says that illegal immigrants need to be deported such that we can have a country of peace that's lacking of crime and people who are here illegally. Yeah, that makes us the Confederacy. Chicago, you are in deep doo-doo, my friends. Very deep doo-doo indeed. And by the way, Gypsy mentioned something earlier that is really frightening. Now, as y'all may know, this weekend, there is going to be a parade in Washington, D.C. to celebrate the anniversary of the creation of the United States Army. It's going to be a big, old-fashioned military parade. Something we haven't done in this country in a long time for various reasons. On that same day, however, protests are going to be taking place all across the country. Guys, strap in, because if you thought what happened in LA was bad, it's already starting to go nationwide, and it is about to get a whole lot worse. Now, in some places, they're getting ready for it. Governor Greg Abbott has deployed the National Guard all across the state of Texas. And I'm hoping that all these protests remain peaceful. I'm not holding my breath on that point, folks. Oh, yeah, on Flag Day, no less. They're going to do this stuff. Unbelievable. Okay. It is about, what is it right now? About 10 minutes to 9. So I'll tell you what. Let's bring this train into the station. And like I say, apologies for not having videos out about this or doing more live streams, but life kind of gets in the way. But I think we pretty well went over. I think I went pretty well over covering everything up to this point. And like I say, get ready, folks, because the days ahead are going to be really interesting. All right, let's bring this train into the station. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight for the Wednesday night newsroom. We will be back with another live stream this Saturday morning, Front Porch Brunch. And I promise I'm going to do my best to get back on the wagon as far as getting videos out. Oh, by the way, I'll go ahead and give you guys a heads up on something. We're having a special session of Chatting on the Porch next Thursday night, or sometime on Thursday. A dear friend of the Electronic Front Porch and one of my co-hosts on occasion, who goes by the Twitter name Chad Manley, has written a book. And I'm going to have him on the live stream on Thursday to talk about it. He sent me a copy of it in advance to kind of read over. I don't think I'll get through all of it before the interview, but I think it's going to be really interesting. So keep that in mind for next Thursday. But for sure, this coming Saturday, we'll be back with Front Porch Brunch. And in the meanwhile, you guys continue to have a great night. I love each and every one of you. Keep your eyes open. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. Leave a comment and chat. Share the link around with your friends. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. I'd really appreciate it. With that, love you guys very much. Have a good night. And remember the words of that great American philosopher, Tom T. Hall, when he said, "It's faster horses, younger lovers, older whiskey, and more money." Have a great night, guys. We'll talk to you later.